crafters, it's Han here from HanCraftedCards.com. Welcome to my channel today. Today I've got something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at the Cutterpillar Pro. It's something that I recently purchased, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it and say and about why I actually bought it, seeing as I do already have two other trimmers. So we're going to be looking at the pros and the cons, and yeah, we'll see what we think at the end of the video. So this is the Cutterpillar Pro. It's a 12 by 12 trimmer, and it's called a professional scrapbook paper trimmer. It's massive. It is 12 by 12, and that's the cutting blade on the side. So basically I just wanted to sort of do a bit of a review on it and sort of explain why I bought it, even though, like I said, I have two other trimmers. So first of all, the other trimmers that I've got, the very first trimmer that I had was this Crafter's Companion one, and it was bought for me. It's a rotary blade, and it worked okay, but for some reason when I was using it, my measurements were always off. I don't know if it was me being a new crafter at the time, or whether it was the trimmer, the alignment was off or something, but I could never get my measurements right. I don't know what it was. My second trimmer is of course the Stampin' Up trimmer, and I love this trimmer. As soon as I got this, all my measurements were spot on, and it cuts accurately every single time. It opens out to 12 by 12, and it's got the cutting and the scoring blade on there as well, and it opens up. They did have a rotary attachment, but they don't sell that anymore. I never had that. I didn't see the point of that. If I wanted that, I would have just bought a rotary trimmer, which I didn't want, because that other one was a rotary trimmer and I didn't get on with it. So yeah, so this is the Stampin' Up one. This I use every single day when I'm crafting. It, as I said, it cuts completely, perfectly, accurately every single time, and I do love this trimmer. So why then did I splurge and buy the Cutterpillar Pro? Basically, the thing that attracted me to it was, first of all, the size of it. It's got a 13-inch flatbed thing, cutting thing, and so it's 13 inches that way, and I don't actually know how long it is that way, more than probably about 13 as well. So it's massive. You can do a lot on here. And also the other thing that attracted me to it was that you don't have to change the blade. It's a self-sharpening blade, so every time you cut, it's sharpening itself along here, and that to me was a genius idea, because with the Stampin' Up trimmer you do have to replace the blades, and because I use it a lot, I do go through quite a lot of blades, and I still use it every single day even though I have this one. What I tend to use this one for is when I get a load of cardstock in and I know I'm going to be cutting like 100 sheets of cardstock all at once. That's when I will use this, because I can get through all of those, get all my cards cut and prepped ready for crafting all in one go, knowing I do not have to change the blade. And it also, I mean, it says in the instructions to cut lightweight chipboard. I've cut probably medium weight chipboard. I'm not saying you should do it, but I've cut medium weight chipboard on it, and it is cut really, really well. So a couple of the features of this trimmer, like I said, it's got a big 13 by 13 inch cutting mat. It's got inches and centimeters at the top. I don't know if you can see, just along there you've got inches there, and then centimeters just underneath there. There's also, which I thought was a really good feature, a light on the side there. So you need to flip it over just there, and you need to put 4 AA batteries in there. And why that is good is because if you're cutting, let me try and find something. if you're trying to cut, I mean, if you're just cutting a piece of paper in half, you just cut it in half. That's fine. But if you're trying to cut, let me just, oh, that'll do. Just some card maps that I've got. If you're trying to cut to that line there, along the line there, it can sometimes be a little bit difficult to line it up with the cutting track, but by putting that light on it, you can see, you probably can't see it on the camera, but you can see the shadow of where the cutting track is, so you know how far to move it. So I don't know if you can make out, probably not, but when the light shines through, you can see where this cutting, where that is in relation to where you want to cut up to. So you can, let me just do one. I know you probably can't see it at all, but because I can see a shadow, I can get I can be more specific with my distance when I'm cutting it to that line. Does that make sense? So for cutting things out, is what I should say. For cutting something out, it makes it really a lot easier to do that. So that's another one of the features that convinced me to buy it. So there's the light in there. As it said, it's meant to cut cardstock lightweight chipboard. You line it up with the ruler at the top, and then the cutting blade is this side. The difference with this and the Stampin' Up trimmer is when you cut with this, you just push it up and down, and that's it, it cuts. Whereas with this one, you have to twist. You see it moving there. You have to twist it in, so you're butting the blade up against the cutting track there, and then you cut. If you just cut straight down like that, or just pull it straight down, it's not going to cut properly. You have to twist. So that is something that you have to get kind of used to, because, well, for me anyway, I don't know if there's other trimmers that do that, but not the two trimmers that I had before, or any of that I've used, it didn't have that type of blade. So you have to remember to twist it in and then pull down and keep it twisted all the way down, or cut from the top or from the bottom. But that's something that you have to remember to do when you're cutting. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. So if you've got dexterity problems, I think you can practically do it with, no pressure on there at all. It's really sharp. So sharp that I actually cut myself on it once, because I think I got something stuck under there. I mean, it does tell you in the in the instructions, children should be supervised by adults at all time because they might cut themselves. And so yeah, I cut myself, and I cut myself quite badly as well. So it's quite sharp. So definitely, if children are going to be using it, or adults that aren't very careful, then make sure they're supervised, because that blade is proper sharp. So yeah, you don't want to force the blade through like really heavyweight chipboard or something, because you're just going to damage it and damage this whole mechanism here. Storage, it's actually got a drawer on the side there, so you've got what's the word, recessed. You've got like a little tray there, so you can put your tools in. So you can put whatever you want in there, and then you can also put cardstock and paper or whatever else in the drawer as well, along with your tools. So that is really useful. Personally, I don't use it that much unless I'm working on something specific, like I'm doing a specific project, because I generally keep it in the box, which is one of the cons of the Cutterpillar Pro. it's a pro and a con. It's massive, so that's a pro. You can do a lot of work on it. You've got lots of space to work, but also it takes up a lot of space. So what I do, I keep it in the box it came with, and I have to have it at the side of a desk. I would love to have enough room to just have it out on the desk all the time, but I just don't have the room. So the size is a pro and a con. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I've only got a really small craft room, don't not get it because of that. I just keep it in the box, and just take it out. If I'm working like for the whole day on a few projects and I know I'm going to be using it, then I'll have it out on my desk. But generally speaking, because of the size of it, I'll just keep it in the box, because I don't use it every single day like my Stampin' Up one. My Stampin' Up one, that one is out and more accessible, whereas this one, I keep it in the box. But if I didn't have a Stampin' Up trimmer, then this is okay to use every day, if you know what I mean. It's not just for heavy duty stuff. It's really easy to use, and I do actually really like it. And I'm almost 100% sure that there's a lifetime guarantee with the blade. So if something goes wrong with the blade, then you can contact Cutterpillar.com, and they'll sort it out for you. The one thing to not do is pick it up by this bar here, because this bar is what holds the blade in place. So if you keep picking it up by this bit here, and then you loosen the screws at the side, and this goes a little bit wobbly, then your blade's going to be wobbly, and that will affect your cutting. So that's another thing to remember when using it. But overall, I do think it's a really good paper trimmer. If you know you're going to be doing a lot of cutting and you don't want to have to keep changing blades, even if you're not doing a lot of cutting, just generally, it is quite annoying to have to change blades. Even though, like I said, I use my Stampin' Up trimmer every single day that I'm crafting. I do have to change the blades though, and yeah, it's kind of like, I wish I didn't have to change the blade, but it's part of, that type of trimmer. So this though, like I said, you don't have to change the blades. It could take up, if you've got a small craft room, you probably am going to have to keep it in the box, which it does recommend anyway, because the box has got it's got a carry handle on it. So it does actually recommend keeping the box, and if you're moving it around, then use the box to carry it. So I'm guessing it's to not be tempted to hold it by this bar here. So overall, I definitely think this is a really good trimmer. It is a little bit of an investment, but I think it's worth the fact that this blade is going to last a lifetime. So they say. And I'm almost 100% that, let me just check. Yeah, I thought it was. I've just gone on to Cutterpillar.com, and it says that it asks the questions, do you offer replacement blades, and it says that your Cutterpillar should cut for years and years with the sharp rotary blade it came with. However, should your Cutterpillar blade ever need replacement, we offer a free lifetime replacement warranty on the rotary blade with regular use. So if you're being silly with it and you break it, then you probably aren't going to get the you're probably not going to be covered. But if you're using it as it should be, then they do offer a lifetime warranty on the blade. You do have to pay for shipping, but I'm guessing that's probably not that much. So yeah, it should last you a lifetime. So even though you might have to spend a little bit to get it, it should last forever. And even if this does get damaged, Cutterpillar will replace it. So for that reason alone, the fact that they will replace it, it's definitely worth worth investing in it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Cutterpillar Pro. There is another one, the Cutterpillar Crop. It's about half the size. I think it's similar to the size of the Stampin' Up trimmer, and it has a arm that extends. But obviously, because I've already got one this size, I didn't see the point in getting. That's the Cutterpillar Crop. So this is the Cutterpillar Pro. So there are two options. The Cutterpillar Crop, I believe it does have the same blade as this, and so I'm guessing the same warranty, but it is a bit smaller. So if you have got a smaller craft room, then that might be the option for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave links in the description for the more information on the Cutterpillar Pro and on the Cutterpillar Crop, so you can have a look at both of them, and let me know if you have one and how you found it, or if you don't have this or the Stampin' Up one, which trimmer do you have? Is it a rotary or the other type? You know, which in your opinion is your favourite trimmer? I would love to hear your thoughts on trimmers. So that's it for today. I hope that you found this information useful. If you did, then please share it with anybody else who you think might find it useful as well. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.